Thomas and the Mainland Revolution, written by Audiobook. It was a sunny day off the island of Sodor. Thomas wanted to decide to go to the mainland, but Sir Topper had wouldn't agreed. He couldn't decide with him. Meanwhile, at the mainland, Flying Scotsman was making on his way to Sodor until he accidentally smashed to the car. He was completely minor damaged, so he had to go to repair it. Meanwhile, on Sodor, Thomas wasn't very happy. Everyone wanted to cheer him up. "I know you understand that we could build you since a long time ago," said Edward. Thomas understood. Edward comforted with Thomas. He said the mainland was a long time ago, but Thomas says the missing King George. Later on, Spencer arrived at Sodor since Gordon had been waked up. "I want to be a royal train," said Spencer. Gordon grunted. He didn't say nothing but ungreetable with Spencer, but concerns. That night at the sheds, the other engines were discussed about Spencer who pulled the royal train. The next morning, the raining was coming to the island of Sodor. Gordon told Spencer about royal train to be careful about the weather, but Spencer wouldn't listen. After the Gordon advice, Spencer was going too fast. As he approached down the hill, crash! Spencer was derailed, especially with his coaches. 56 passengers were injured. Spencer knew he felt silly. Meanwhile, at Nafford Station, Sir Top Hat was about to go and leave vacation and take a holiday when he got a call about Spencer had the accident. He said, "I had to take to the holiday right now." So he left with his office and he drove with his car. Meanwhile, at the sheds, Thomas spotted to see a new controller as Sir Topper Hat's friend. "I want you to take to the office, please." "Surely, sir." "Hop on board." So Thomas and the new controller went to Nafford. Meanwhile, at the mainland, Bogo meet Raymond. Raymond explained to Bogo about what happened in the past. Later that day, two engines were being returned to Sodor, Stepney and City Troll. The other engines and all the engines were very happy and welcome back. Later that day, Henry got distracted by the stranger's engine until he crashed into Edward's train. The new controller sent Thomas to the mainland with his Henry Goods trains. Thomas was feeling nervous. It was getting late that night. As Thomas approached the sheds, he was surprised to see King George had been painted black. Thomas was really tired that he went to the sheds and went to sleep. The next morning, Thomas was trying to sneak away from the sheds, but King George had been awake. He told Thomas. Thomas says, "I want to go back to Sodor." King George said goodbye to Thomas, and Thomas left. His home is a little bit far away, but Thomas had been derailed by the little switchers and came off the tracks. Thomas was upset and stuck. Back on Sodor, all the engines and Flying Scotsman were in the sheds. They didn't know where Thomas was. That night, poor Thomas was staying all night long until Harold rescued him. Thomas was really happy to get back home with his friends and the Flying Scotsman.